name is Jermaine Smith. I am a registered trainer with BuildaBrige International. We have been here in Haiti for the past 6 weeks, training groups of 30 or more in 3 different sites in Haiti. I was the lead facilitator for Module 2, and Module 2 is creating a safe creative space for children.
So hi, it's me, Amy. I'm here in Port-au-Prince after 6 weeks of hard work with Haitian leaders from all over the country. We started in Gonaive, and then we trained in Port-au-Prince, and then also in Jacmel.
Hello, my name is Lori Williams, and I have been in Haiti for the past 6 weeks training through BuildaBrige and with a partnership with UNICEF. We've trained around 90 amazing community leaders in Haiti.
Alright, so my name is Gael Prophet, and I have been translating the arts, I think, in community series with BuildaBrige for the past 6 weeks in Haiti. It was a phenomenal experience. I really learned a lot. The curriculum is amazing. The participants love it. And I think the best reward from this training is that I would say over 80% of the participants from the training felt like either the training was not long enough or that they were now ready to go ahead and take this back into their communities, to their organizations, and to share it with other people.
One thing the participants, from their feedback, definitely learned is how to use what is already in their natural spaces. So if they don't have a facility or actual building, they learned how to use what's in the environment to create that space. One of the things that we talk about is setting boundaries for the children to have the space in, and so they learned how to use rocks that were already in the space, logs, anything that they could find to create a boundary around their space is something that they learned how to do, which was important because there were a lot of spaces in their communities that they seemed did not have any value or were unsafe for children. But through the module, they learned how to use what's already in that space to make it a safe place for the children to be and learn and play in. So
in the module that I taught, there was this wonderful paradigm shift that would happen every single time with most of the participants. And that is that at the beginning of the module, we would hear a lot of like, oh, these issues are too big for me. They're too outside of my hands. I can't do anything about this. And after working through asset mapping and identifying all the various personal assets, relational assets, physical assets, etc. in their communities, they would say, oh, wow, my community has a lot of strength in it, and a lot of people, a lot of relationships that can be connected to form this network or to strengthen the work I already do or to reinforce this project I think my community really needs. So folks went from a worldview of this is outside of my hands and my community has no power to this is in my hands and my community has all of the power, and these are the points of power that we have, and this is how I can connect them. And that tied very well with Module 3 and project planning. We saw many direct correlations people were making between this relational asset and this aspect of my program.
One of the greatest joys for me personally has been to see the transformation within our trainees. So they were able to recognize and I think bring a bit more value to the actual work that they do and actually see a theory behind the work that they do. Another element was that they were able to see what they have around them, if it's volunteers, if it's spaces, if it's anything in their community. They were able to better identify the assets that they do have around them that could help them improve and continue in their work.
There were other days, especially the day when we were doing the problem tree. That's always a tricky day because, you know, sometimes the problems that we pick, for example, but in Jacmel, the issue that we picked to tackle was children in the street. And that was really difficult because there were so many like conflicting opinions, like very strong opinions, and at the end it wasn't so much that every problem could be converted into an asset, but we really knew that we hit home when people understood that it's not necessarily that we're going to change the problem, or that not every problem can be changed, but out of every situation there is some good, or there is some potential, that even these group of kids, you know, who are in the streets, even they could be used as tools to help their communities, or that they can be engaged in their communities, and that they're not just some vulnerable group of kids that we have to help, we have to save, but they're a member of the community. How can we engage and work with them?
A few participants already were so excited about what they learned, and so they told us that they were going back to their communities, making phone calls, sending emails to the rest of the people in their organization about what they learned in the module. And so we had one participant who said that her organization was already waiting for her to come back so that she can teach them how to use the litter that's in the environment in art making activities, as well as in creating a safe place for children.
In Port-au-Prince, we had a participant named Ms. Lean. Now, Ms. Lean is a dancer, and she just started her own dance school. And many of the participants were identifying dance as an element for healing from trauma for their kids. And so, at some point, someone was like, well, now that we've had this time with Ms. Lean, who is this incredible dance instructor and lives close to us, we can contact Miss Lean when we need to and say, hey, I have this dance program, come help me out. You are my relational asset. I don't have to wait for someone from the States to come and teach me dance. Miss Lean can teach me dance. So that was a wonderful example of the work.
One particular participant was really excited to be able to put together the actual community work that he's been doing, and putting that, he works in Waf Jérémie in Cité Soleil. His name was Ronald, and he was able to see how all the work that he's done, that he was just doing as a community worker, that there's a theory behind it, there are theories of transformation, and that was exciting for him to see the connection of theory and the work that he does.
Something that the participants have been asking each site is for additional trainings and just a consistent kind of follow-up with resources. They are asking for more additional trainings in any way possible. They realize that we may not be able to be here physically all the time, of course, but if there's anything that we can send them digitally, or just different things, they are hungry for more knowledge on how to continue this work and sustain the work that they're doing with the children they serve.
So many of our participants were really asking a lot of questions about when will the next training be. So I think we've given them more than enough tools to chew on for the next 6 months, year. But I think follow-up training is really the next step. Going one step deeper, offering arts in human development, arts in relief and social services to folks so they can really take their knowledge to the next level, and also get support for what they're already doing in their communities. I think the support thing is a big aspect of what we can do to help our colleagues along in Haiti, is asking them what they need in terms of tools to keep their projects going, and feedback.
I worked in program development, training participants in how to write programs, how to develop their vision statements, their mission statements, and so forth. And I think it would be great to be able to continue training people in how they could better present themselves and be able to draw more stakeholders into the work that they do. So I hope that that's something that can be continued, as well as the Arts for Transformation, continuing to train participants in how to use the arts to help children in healing and bring hope. Thank you.
How can we take what one person knows and really start to really use that to increase community dialogue? Really start focusing their work based on assets, as opposed to being based on problems or needs. I think that whole paradigm shift it's a good start, but I think people have a difficult time moving beyond that, moving beyond like what they know, especially when they start training other people or trying to train other people. But really, I think the major roadblock is going to be in their work. Ways that I think we can definitely help that. Well, I think not necessarily the training setting, but I think people having like resource centers. When I say resource center, I don't necessarily mean like a building, but just somewhere they can go and ask questions. Ask questions, or maybe have resources available to them. I think one of the things, the third module is really the module that that the trainers have been highlighting, the resources in the back of the book, because people always want to know more about program development. But something like that, perhaps a little bit more interactive in nature, where people can go like ask questions, maybe like hear back from someone immediately. I can say, you know, definitely from the participants' point of view, that is probably like the biggest complaint that they have. That the trainers did not speak to them in Creole. However, that being said, they were overjoyed that the books were in Creole, that the post-test and the pre-test were in Creole, and that it made me feel good as a translator. I don't know that this training could be done in any other language for these participants, especially those working directly with the kids, who we really need to embrace the ideas and embrace the values that we're trying to share with them. It's important that they get it to them, that we get it to them in their native language. The experience was so impactful for me that about 4 weeks into the training, I myself started drawing. So I think that pretty much speaks to the quality of the curriculum, the quality of the training, and the organization that really worked to put this together. So thank you.